Hi, and welcome everybody to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. My name is Ross Benjamin of rbwins.com. It's Wednesday, the 7th of December, and getting closer to Christmas. And speaking of Christmas, we got a nice gift for you. Mr. Al McMorty from BigAl.com is with us, and he's going to give us a free winner in the NFL. Before he gets to that free winner, Al, tell the folks how you've been doing and what's going on at BigAl.com these days.
Well, like you, Ross, just working hard. Basketball's been going really strong lately. I think 18-6 my last 24 college basketball. Wow. Hit a wall last week in the NFL. Went 0-3, so that wasn't good. But I'm still having a winning year in the NFL, and if it continues, it'll be my 11th straight winning year in the NFL. So fingers crossed, and just looking forward to the bowl season. I'm a Michigan graduate, so extremely excited.
Yeah, there you go. In the part of the college football playoff, they'll be facing TCU in the college football semifinals. So maybe we'll get Al's opinion on that game down the road, but you never know. You could find me at rbwins.com. College basketball on a nice roll right now, folks. 17-8 with my last 25, which is good for 68%. NFL since January 30th of this year, which would have been conference championship weekend. 49-35 in the NFL, 58%. What am I missing? The NBA since April 1st of this year, 51-38, good for 58%. You could find me at rbwins.com, or you could find me at one of Big Al's sites, which is pickadvisor.com, one of his affiliate sites. Good site there, a lot of good handicappers as well. Make sure you check out Al at bigal.com. Not only is Al there, but 19 other great handicappers as well. Okay, let's get to the free picks at hand. Philadelphia and the Giants is the game that Al's going to take a look at. I'm interested because, to me, this is a tricky one. You got the Eagles laying 7 on the road. Not playing for a hell of a lot right now other than the number 1 seed, I guess you could say.
I guess that's a hell of a lot.
Yeah. I meant in terms of the division, man. I'm sorry. But in terms of the Giants, they've hit a wall. I mean, they overachieved to start the year, and I really think they're a pretender. But let's hear your thoughts. It's a one-game situation.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this is pretty much NFL 101 handicapping. It's a pretty basic way to, for me to look at this game. The Philadelphia Eagles come off 2 very high-scoring wins. They scored 40 points against Green Bay 2 weeks ago. They won that game 40-33. They followed it up last week with a blowout of the Tennessee Titans and scored 35 in that game. But when you get an NFL road favorite that's off back-to-back wins in which they scored more than 30 points in each of those games, those road favorites over the last 43 years have covered just 35.2%. For me, this is just, as I mentioned, it's NFL 101. I'm taking the Giants plus a 7.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's perception, folks. The public perception is going to say take the Eagles. But when you look at NFL betting history, as Al just alluded to, going back to 1980, when you get a road favorite that's coming off back-to-back wins in which they scored 30 or more points on each occasion.
More than 30.
More than 30. 31 or more. Let's make it easy. 31 or more on each occasion. The record, that was 35% against the spread for those road favorites. So it's a long history. It's a big sample size, and it certainly makes a lot of sense to me. All right, before I get to my pick real quickly, folks, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please take a second to do so. Costs you absolutely nothing. Some of the best handicappers in the country right here on this Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast channel. In 5 days a week, we're covering college basketball as well right now. Not only Big Al and myself, Jesse Shule, also Doug Upstone from DocSports.com, and who am I missing? Sean Higgs from PicksandParlays.net, who's having a phenomenal NFL year-end start to the college basketball season. All right, the New York Jets at the Buffalo Bills. The Bills right now a 9.5-point favorite. I could see the general public going to the underdog here. I'm not of the same mindset. This is a Buffalo team that's playing with revenge from an earlier season 20-17 loss at the Jets. And since 2020, the Buffalo Bills are 16-2 straight up and 13-5 against the spread when playing with revenge. And that includes 8-0 straight up and 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 in that role. This also will be the Bills' first home game in 4 weeks, as they played a couple they played 3 Thursday night games this year. And they followed up those previous 2 Thursday night games, going 2-0 straight up in ATS, beating Tennessee 41-7, New England 24-10 last week. And I mentioned this is their first home game in 4 weeks. Well, they won the previous 3 on neutral sites and away. And I don't know, for a team that's 9-3 and lost 3 games by a combined 8 points, they catch a lot of criticism. I guess that's what happens when you're highly hyped before the season begins. Since Sean McDermott took over in 2017, Buffalo is 7-1 straight up when playing with 7 or more days rest, and that includes 5-0 if they're a favorite of 4 or more, and all 5 of those wins have come by 10 points or greater. As good as the Jets have played this year, and as good as they are on the road this season, going 4-2, should have been 5-1. They blew an excellent opportunity last week, but, it's a loser. The New York Jets are 0-7 straight up and 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 as a division away game. And that includes 0-5 straight up in ATS in division away games in which they're an underdog of 9.5 or less, and they lost those 5 games by a combined 19.2 points per contest. I'm going with the Buffalo Bills here, laying the 9.5 over the New York Jets. Any final words, Al?
No, I mean, you sold me on Buffalo, so.
Yeah, some of the stuff right up our alley. But don't forget, folks, that's what me and Al do, a technical handicapping. I didn't really show my technical side on this. I was doing more team trends. But Al gave you a nice ATS betting angle in the NFL. And again, remember, folks, road favorites that are coming off back-to-back straight-up wins in which they scored 31 points or more on each occasion. They're only going 35% against the spread since 1980. And when it goes that long and that big a sample size, that's real strong. And that's without Al even tightening anything up.
I'll give you another angle. We like to talk about our technical angles here on the podcast. Take a look at the Tampa Bay San Francisco game. You've got the San Francisco 49ers. They're playing their 3rd straight home game. So they're coming off back-to-back straight up and against the spread wins at home. 2 weeks ago, they won 13-0. Last week, they won 33-17 against the Dolphins. But when you take a look at how teams do in the regular season, at home, off back-to-back home wins, you can say the 3rd time is not a charm. They've gone 50 and 80 ATS, so that's, again, a large sample size, 130 events, 50 and 80 ATS. Tampa Bay looks to be a live road underdog.
Yeah, and I can almost assure you, even with San Francisco having to go with a rookie quarterback now, I still don't see a lot of people jumping on board the Tampa Bay bandwagon. So you'll probably be in a minority there, and that's okay with me. I don't know. I'm a contrarian mindset to start with anyway.
Look, I mean, to me, that's must-see TV. You've got Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy. He'll actually be the first Mr. Irrelevant draft pick to ever make a start at quarterback. It's never happened before. And he's going up against the greatest quarterback of all time. You can't have like this clash of
contrast. Huge contrast.
Yeah, so it'll be a fun game to watch.
Yeah, I like the way Brock Purdy played last week. Wasn't fantastic, but he didn't do anything to lose the game. Now whether he becomes a quote unquote game manager, I'm sure that's going to be the case early on. And Tom Brady right now, he's catching a lot of heat. The guy's 45 years old, and he's playing like a little bit like his age right now, which is still better than 90% of the rest. So
that's true.
Anyway, Al, you have a great week, and we'll get with you next week. Starting next week, Al's going to be doing some college basketball with us too. So a couple of Christmas gifts under the tree with Big Al McMorty. Until the next time, for Big Al and Ross, we'd like to wish each and every one of you all the very best. Take care and God bless, folks.